We're here on the outskirts of North Augusta in what is basically a swamp. It's kind of quiet today, but if you'd been here a century ago, you would have heard the sounds of splashing, boys laughing, diving, and all the things that go along with it for a summer of fun. Because years and years and years ago, this was Getzen's Pond, where generations of Augustans came to spend their summers. It was named for the landowner Judge Henry Getzen, who not only gave the pond a name, but opened it up for swimming. He took advantage of the cool water springs that fed into it and its semblance of privacy, something that the Savannah River, a couple of hundred yards away, did not have. Privacy was important because when you swam at Getzen's, at least early on, you swam with no bathing suit. That's right. They were all as naked as aquatic jaybirds splashing around in the water. That's right, women and girls were not allowed, but gradually that changed. During the First World War, Dr. Henry Mealing took over management of the swimming operation, and local ladies approached him about being allowed to swim on Wednesday afternoons. Naked swimming was replaced by bathing suits, and soon everyone was jumping into the spring-fed pool. Getzen's became the area's biggest summer child care activity center. Generations of Augustans told their children and grandchildren about the grand times they had playing, splashing, swimming, diving, and basically staying cool in those always hot Augusta summers before air conditioning became common. Dr. William Mulheron advised Augusta and North Augusta parents of the advantages of swimming as good exercise, so kids soon flocked to Getzen. Dr. Mealing turned management of the pond and the swimming facilities over to his mother. She built some outbuildings that gave people privacy, places to stay, and her daughter Catherine introduced life-saving courses and lifeguards, something unheard of around this area. Eventually, the cost of all this became too much, and she closed the pond to the public. Swimming pools, both public and private, had begun to spring up around town. Augusta and North Augusta started their own recreation departments, and facilities such as the YMCA began their own swimming and life-saving efforts. Sometime in the early 1950s, Getzen's closed, but it wasn't forgotten. It was remembered and recalled nostalgically and lovingly by many of the old writers and editors of the Augusta Chronicle over the years. Johnny Battle, the Chronicle's crusty old city editor for much of the 1900s, wrote nostalgically of this favorite swimming hole. Quote, "Do you remember when the 5th Street Bridge was a covered affair?" Battle asked in a 1949 Chronicle article. "Over the bridge we tramped to Getzen's. Those were the days when we paid a nickel or a dime to swim. Nearly all of us learned to swim in that old pond of shadowy memories." In 1964, Earl Bell, a Chronicle editor, opinion writer, and co-author of a book on the newspaper's history, wrote of the pond as a source of summertime joy and sometimes tragedy, recalling the 1913 drowning of his brother William while he swam in Getzen's Pond. And finally, the legendary John Barnes wrote shortly before his death of summers past, quote, "In the hot summertime when we needed to cool off," Barnes explained in a 1985 Our Town column, "we would walk across the 13th Street Bridge, down a ramp, and walk a dirt road to Getzen's swimming pond. This was a refreshing swim, for the water was ice cold." Getzen's is pretty much a quiet ruin today, but it lives on in the memories of those who recall summers in which they swam with no clothes on, splashed in a pond, and learned how to swim. If you listen real close, you might be able to still hear it.